Hello there and welcome to the Power of Surrender with Hugh, where every day we take a card from this deck, The Power of Surrender by Dr Judith Orloff, and we discuss it for food for thought and inspiration in these challenging times we're living in. Today's card is Surrender Your Attachment to Results. This is an unusual one and an interesting one because we set goals for ourselves, and of course we want good results. And sometimes when we don't get the results we want, it can be a tremendous disappointment, and it's how to deal with that. Sometimes we can see it as failure, but this card is talking about how we should take a different perspective if we don't get the results that we're looking for. So I'll read exactly what it says. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. There's a lot in this. Where to begin with it? Well, I mean, it's the whole idea of, doing inspired action, doing everything that you can to make something happen and then just let it go. That is an issue for some people to wrap their brain around. How do you let go? How do you not keep pushing? And how do you not hold on too tight? These are good questions. So it starts with a fundamental understanding, of course, of how the universe works, and that there are forces out of our control that are flowing and going downstream. And so once we set up those things in motion, it's like wanting to manifest something. You can think about it and plan it out and imagine how wonderful it is, but you can't force it into action. What you have to do is you put it there in your mind, you've thought of it very clearly, you think about it all the time, and you just let go. And then it happens. And until that happens to you, for some people, seeing is believing. But then at the same time, if your mentality is seeing is believing, sometimes that's going to block you as well. So it gets a little bit complicated. But the point I'm basically getting to here is that the first thing you're going to have is some perspective on the way that the universe works and flows. And this is not just according to Hugh. This is universal laws that are way out beyond all of us. And have always been there, and we can see every day that they're working. One of those, the most obvious one, is karma. If you treat people badly, if you have bad energy around you and you put that into the world, it comes back to you. That's the very simplest version of a universal law that we see all around us all the time. So let's go through exactly what it says in the card, piece by piece. As it says, it's talking about, first of all, this idea of doing all that you can and then letting go. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Now, for me, when it talks about the formula of success and to make things happen, we're talking about inspired action, not doing something for the sake of it. I mean, I'm talking about, you get up in the morning and it's the only thing you think about, you're passionate about doing it, that's inspired action. So that's exactly what we're talking about there. So then to go on and say the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Now that's the part I was talking about there a second ago, which is the challenging one, to let go of the results. I'll put it this way. You could be in a relationship and you think it's the greatest relationship since sliced bread, but you can't see that this is not the right relationship for you, but you can't see it because you're right in the middle of it. So you're going along and things start to be a struggle and things are not going well and you can't figure out why. And sometimes it's the universe trying to give you a little nudge and remind you. Sometimes it's just challenges of life that have nothing to do with the relationship, but I'm just giving this as an example. So sometimes when we don't get the results we want, there's a good reason for it. So instead of being angry at the results, go, well, hang on, why are these the results? Is this the direction I should be going in? Because, as anyone will tell you who has any kind of success in life in different ways, once you kind of click or hit that zone, it just all seems to flow really, really easily. And it's making that switch into that zone. And some people say it's finding that uniqueness about you. and going with that unique energy that is you. There are different ways of looking at it and talking about it, but essentially you hit that little winning zone and everything starts to flow into it. And so this is where you're having to have faith or trust in the universe. And this is essentially saying that if you want to have, the results that you really want, then it's actually letting go of how you want the results to be. Another way I put it to you is that sometimes when you have a situation, instead of forcing it, if you just kind of step back a little bit, the universe will kind of finish it off, will bring it to you in an even perfect way than you could imagine. It's when you force it at the end that sometimes you can screw it up, because you're because essentially by forcing it, you're saying that you don't trust the universe, and then your energy shifts and you're in an energy of fear or worry, and then that's the energy that comes back to you, and then you're not getting the results that you want. So that's why this is so important. Again, I'm talking about other universal laws here, where you just have to let go and go with the flow of it. And the more that you believe that the work you've done is going to bring you the results that you deserve, then that's exactly what you're going to get. But you have to, at that certain point, let go and trust that you've done the work, and now the results are coming to you. Now, this is where it gets on really, really specific and interesting. Again, holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Now, I did just talk about that as well, but it is literally that thing of just that, like I said, if you're holding on too tight, that energy is of fear and, oh my God, I don't mess up. But that energy, if you think about it in terms of karma, you send that energy out after doing all this work, inspired work, and then all of a sudden you change the energy to this. That's why it can sometimes sabotage the outcome. So you're much better off to do all the work, do everything that you possibly can. And I know for some people it's difficult to say, just let go. How can you possibly do that? It's not that you go into bed and sleep for the next week. That's not what it's talking about. But it's like once you've sent the energy out there, once you've done the hard work, then it's a question of just stepping back and letting the pieces fall into place. When this has happened to you enough times in your life, you start to see the pattern and understand it. I've told the story many times of my son coming to America, trying to find a school for him. And all of a sudden we find ourselves in a position where this school in the United States is offering him a full scholarship. Now, if we hadn't, set up this tour of schools in Los Angeles, if we hadn't, sold our house to be able to pay for that trip to go over there and do that, we did all the work. We put it out there into the universe. This is finding help for our son is more important than anything else in the whole world to us. We put that information out there, and then we went to the schools. And I know that some people at the time thought we were crazy, like, this is insane, you can't just go over there and find a school. But because we were so wide open, and because we put it out there, we were literally manifesting. We didn't realise it, didn't know it at the time, but that's what was happening. And they were so inspired in this school. They were like, you're willing to sell your home and move all the way over here for your kid. Wow, you guys are epic. So they were like, we want you to be here, and we want to be part of your story, and we'd like to help you, and this is how we're going to do it. And again, extraordinary. I remember that extraordinary moment. I'll remember it my whole life, just standing there and wow, because I would have given him every single penny I had to take him on, even for a couple of months. I would have given them everything. Nothing else mattered, and because of that complete tunnel vision and that complete, but again, it was also when we got there, like, not being like, oh God, please take our son. It was like, we're going to find the school. I remember saying to my wife at the time, saying, when I find this, she says, how do you know what school it's going to be? And I said, I'm just going to know. As soon as I get there, I'll know. And that actually was exactly how it was. I walked into the school, even before they offered the scholarship, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Knew immediately, straight away, the people, the expertise. Even before they met Matthew, they were telling me things about him that were more spot on than anyone had told us so far. So anyway, it's a beautiful story. I tell it over and over again because it's a really powerful one of manifestation. But again, it's surrender your attachment to results. If we had been we have to find a school, it has to be now. Oh my God, or it's the end of the world. Instead, our attitude was like, we're going to find it, and that's it. And there's a big difference in that. There wasn't the desperation or the worry. There was like this, my attitude was simply, this is happening, and that's it. I'm making it happen. And so there was that, I'm going to go to the schools, and then the school will unfold, the right one will unfold in front of me, and that's exactly what it did. Now, there are also other times where I can tell you I've definitely worked hard on something and then held on too tight at the end and then sabotaged the results. I've absolutely done that myself. And that's what this card is talking about. So again, there's a lot to think about here. If one does not believe in the power of the universe and how things flow and universal law, I can understand how this may be a big step for you, but I would just say to you, to those who do see this, it's a fantastic reminder to, if you have inspired action, go do it, do all the work, but then let it go and trust that the correct results are going to come in. And even if the results are not what you expected or what you hope for, there's always a message or a reason for that. And it's the ability for us to step back and to see what that is, which can be so powerful in helping us move forward in the way that we're meant to. So much to talk about here, so much food for thought and inspiration. I hope you got lots of that from this card, and I will be back tomorrow with another card. Take care, my friends. Have a wonderful rest of your day.